Hello guys, so I'm Graciela and I'm going to go over my progress so far as of my research about the discourse community of developmental psychologists and a relevant contemporary topic I have looked into that has provided insight into the field. Okay, so far for my research question, this is what I have composed based on a contemporary focus of the field, and it simply asks, how has the COVID-19 pandemic influenced developmental factors and the mental health of children due to minimal social contact and prolonged isolation? Okay, so basically to break down the question for myself, I focused on common child development traits and how they are relatively discussed throughout the sources. And the next part of the question that I focused on was about the pandemic. Here I listed the kind of impacts the sources discussed based on what has been observed of the current issue. And so now I'm going to move to the synthesis map that represents my research in progress. Here it is. So this is the map, and here I have the main focus of my research question at the top and at the center here. And from it, I broke it down to 3 main points that consist of mental health, developmental traits, and how this discourse community functions within communication of its work. From each topic, I took information that was commonly discussed within the sources, and from there connected the actual sources that spoke about that information to be able to organize and see how these different sources relate. And through this, I'm able to understand the commonality of the material between them that I could focus on for the literature review. And going back, so additionally, the synthesized material addresses the main concentration of my research question about how mental health has been more present in children and how traits of their developmental are being influenced due to this current situation of the pandemic. For example, I include specific characteristics of mental health and development like anxiety and social skills that were discussed during observation of children. Next, so moreover, I also identified additional questions that came up frequently during the synthesis of sources. I thought to add these topics into the map as well because of how common they were to appear between the sources. Additional questions or topics included how children of underserved communities or low income were targeted the most of experiencing these related issues of mental health and their development. Also, the long-term effects due to these experiences in children and how caregivers are encouraged to show special support to their children during this time. Next, so overall where I am right now is determining and organizing the synthesized material in regards of how the information will come together and develop support in preparation for the next step. And as I continue working on this project, I do plan to continue my search for reliable sources based on my topic and also determine its similarities and differences between the sources, and as well as, of course, gaining insight into how this discourse community functions and communicates. And that is all. Thank you.